Hey everyone, I just wanted to let you all know that I am giving away a Force FX lightsaber. All you need to do to enter is leave a like on this video if you enjoy it, be subscribed to the channel, and leave a comment down below letting me know which of the 4 Clone Wars heroes coming to Battlefront 2 you are most excited for. I will be announcing the winner on my Twitter, Instagram, and in my Discord on August 31st, and if we hit 100,000 subscribers before the giveaway ends, I won't only be giving away 1 Force FX lightsaber, but 2. Good luck, now let's get into today's video. Hello everyone, my name is Quinn Knight and welcome back to the channel, and at this point we all know that new Clone Wars content is finally on its way to Battlefront 2 in the form of 4 brand new heroes and an all new map, Geonosis. Among those heroes we have Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, General Grievous, and Count Dooku, which really got me thinking about how DICE is going to approach these heroes. Are these characters going to be strictly based on their prequel trilogy counterparts, or will they include elements from the Clone Wars series, or in the case of Obi-Wan Kenobi, his older self from Episode 4. Shortly after thinking about this, I came across a post from Ben Walk, the Battlefront 2 community manager, requesting that members of the Battlefront 2 community give him feedback on voice lines and emotes for the upcoming Clone Wars heroes. Specifically, he asked if we could have any particular voice lines or emotes in Battlefront 2 for the new prequel heroes, what exactly would they be? So today, we are going to go over the top 10 Obi-Wan Kenobi emotes that I personally want in Battlefront 2, and let me tell you right now, it was extremely difficult to narrow this down to only 10. I originally was going to do Grievous and Obi-Wan in the same video, but just by the time I finished listing off my favorite lines for Obi-Wan, I was already 2.5 pages in, so you can imagine just how challenging it was to choose only 10 lines from 2.5 pages of pure gold. But with all that being said, let's get into this.
Ray shields. Wait a minute, how did this happen? We're smarter than this.
Apparently not.
So at our number 10 spot, we have this iconic line from Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and apart from being one of the most memed lines in human history, this one just works so well as an emote. I can just imagine a match of heroes versus villains where your team is being stomped by the enemy team, and after losing a match, you instantly throw this up as an emote. It wouldn't work all that well for taunting enemies, and it would be relatively situational as you would have to time it just before something not so great happens to you, which in most cases you'd probably be dead before you even got the chance to. But I love this line so much, I truly hope DICE decides to throw it in as a quick emote.
You must realize you are doomed.
Oh, I don't think so.
Before I say anything else, I just feel the need to point out how overlooked this line is. I feel like Obi-Wan's hello there in the very same scene overshadows this one quite often, but this line should be just as iconic in my opinion. I know some people get very upset when you kill them and then immediately emote something condescending over what's left of them, and this one would be absolutely perfect for just that. I can already imagine a scenario in a game mode like Hero Showdown or maybe Heroes vs Villains, where you drop down as Obi-Wan to face Grievous and you first emote hello there, and directly after killing him immediately emote oh I don't think so, just to rub salt in the wound. Personally, I am a very big fan of emoting after kills just for the sake of making people rage, and pairing this line up with hello there would make for a perfect reenactment of an iconic scene.
Oh, this is going to be easy.
This is yet another line that's on this list simply due to how well it would work as an emote, but this is one that I think would work well in just about any scenario. There is currently a glitch in Battlefront 2 that allows you to emote while the Heroes vs Villains intro is playing, like while the short cinematic plays where the different heroes enter the battlefront, you can just spam your emotes and everyone will hear them, and while I don't generally condone glitches, this one is pretty harmless and it would be hilarious to spam oh this is going to be easy as a team of villains walks on screen. I'm sure it would get a lot of them really mad and really wanting to kill you. It would also be a great one to use at the beginning of matches or even mid-match after wiping the floor with the enemy team. This one is about as all-purpose as it gets, and I truly hope it makes the final cut.
You can't win, Darth. If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
I'll be completely honest, this one is only on the list so I can represent Alec Guinness with at least one spot in this video. While Alec Guinness's version of Ben Kenobi does have several iconic lines, most of them would not really work as emotes and definitely wouldn't work with a young Obi-Wan if we don't receive an old Ben Kenobi skin, which I do not expect to. I do, however, think this line would be great as either an emote or just something that plays when you're near an enemy, specifically Vader. There really is some huge potential for some excellent dialogue between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader, and I'm very excited to see what DICE comes up with. If they do include one line from A New Hope Ben Kenobi, I would hope it would be this one. It probably isn't an emote that I would personally equip, as there are several others much higher on my list, but I'm sure people that grew up with Alec Guinness's Obi-Wan would definitely appreciate this particular voice line.
You were right about one thing, Master. The negotiations were short.
You know, when it came to thinking of some of my favorite Obi-Wan lines, I realized that the vast majority of them came from episodes 2 and 3, but that isn't to say he doesn't have a banger or two in The Phantom Menace, and this one is probably my favorite from that movie. Honestly, Obi-Wan might just have the best lines of any character in Star Wars history, because it's actually ridiculous just how many lines he has that could be used to taunt the enemy. The more I think about all the great Obi-Wan emotes that are possible, the more hyped I get to annoy the ever-living heck out of people with condescending Obi-Wan quips. Believe me when I say, whenever Obi-Wan is on the team, the negotiations are sure to be short.
Oh no, I'm not brave enough for politics.
This line has been among my favorites from the very first time I ever watched the prequels, and while this particular line wouldn't work well for the majority of emote purposes, namely taunting your enemy, I would love to have this emote for the very same reason I always use the Hokey Religions emote, because it's just one of my favorite quotes from the Star Wars films. There's not too much more to say about this one, it's just a personal favorite, and I truly hope that DICE has plans to record this line for Obi-Wan, whether it be as an emote or a regular voice line.
Chancellor Palpatine, Sith Lords are our speciality.
We are now in the top 4, and these are the ones that really matter, because if DICE decides to only record 4 emotes for the Clone Wars heroes like they have done with the other heroes in the game currently, these would be the 4 that I would choose. These would be the final 4. I do think they will record more as they realize the potential revenue that they could create just from selling some easy emotes, but we'll have to wait and see for the final result. But if there were only 4, the Sith Lords line would be on my list for sure. This one is practically made for HVV, as taking out Vader, Count Dooku, Palpatine, or Maul would be made even more satisfying by instantly emoting this directly after taking them out. I think any fan of the prequels can agree that this line is a must-have for Obi-Wan.
So uncivilized.
This is definitely an emote that I personally want, but I'm not sure that DICE will deliver on this one. Obviously, Obi-Wan says this in reference to him being forced to use a blaster to take out Grievous, but this line is so iconic and so perfect for emotes that I hope DICE overlooks that and adds this one anyways. Personally, I would never be able to see myself using a blaster as Obi-Wan. That's just not going to happen in Battlefront 2. I'm sure they're not going to give him a blaster ability, but this particular line works for almost any situation. You don't have to be using a blaster to use this line. You take out a Kylo after he tries to kill you with Frenzy, so uncivilized. You destroy Phasma after she tries to kill you with her staff strikes, so uncivilized. You murder Grievous after he calls you Jedi scum, so very uncivilized. The possibilities are endless with this line, and it is an absolutely necessary emote for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You want to go home and rethink your life?
I want to go home and rethink my life.
I am not going to lie to you guys, I really debated putting this at number 1, but I ultimately decided it had to come in at number 2, because this is a line that I feel like most people wouldn't even think to add as an emote. But DICE, if someone over there is watching for some reason, please, for the love of all that is holy and sacred, add this as a line for Obi-Wan. I will do whatever it takes to unlock this emote. Whether it costs 40,000 crystals or can only be unlocked by getting 7,000 kills with Phasma's second staff strike, I will get my hands on this one so long as DICE adds it to Obi-Wan's roster. I want to be able to wreck a group of enemies and seconds later, tell them that they all need to go home and rethink their life. I don't think I've ever heard of anything else that sounds so incredibly satisfying within Battlefront 2.
Something wonderful has happened. Annie, I'm pregnant.
At our number 1 spot, we have what most people can agree is the most requested emote and the most requested voice line for Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, I know this line isn't even said by Obi-Wan in the prequels, but I personally have wanted to hear Obi-Wan say those words from the moment I heard them from Padme Amidala, and any real Obi-Wan fan can agree that this emote is a requirement if we want the full Kenobi experience in Battlefront 2. Guys, that is going to do it for today's video. Peace out.
Hello there.
Yeah, just kidding. Obviously, hello there comes in at number 1. If there was a single emote that we are pretty much guaranteed to be seeing in Battlefront 2, it is this one, because there is no way DICE does not make this an emote, as everyone and their grandmother is going to want to get their hands on this. Regardless of this quote pretty much being a guarantee when Obi-Wan enters the Battlefront this fall, I still think hello there deserves the number 1 spot on this list. But guys, that is going to do it for today's video, for real this time. What did you all think? There are definitely some lines that I wanted to include on this list, but I just couldn't fit them on here as I only had 10 slots. If you think there was a line that was more deserving, be sure to comment that down below, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop it a thumbs up, and if you're new around here, absolutely make sure you subscribe, as we are on that final stretch to the big 100,000 subscribers, and we would be honored if you would join us. Thank you all so much for watching, and Bye.